Tomazzi Entertainment.
The illusion is shattered. Oh no, good lord! Oh, come on! I'm Tom Stern. I'm Alex Winter. And here you are on a set of hideous mutant freaks.
In 1988, Alex Winter and Tom Stern conceived the idea of Freaks, but it was a little different back then. In the original script, which was called Hideous Mutant Freaks, and it was supposed to star the rock band Butthole Surfers, Alex Winter and Tom Stern envisioned the original film as an obscure, ultra-violent horror film featuring the Butthole Surfers. I always found that weird. Basically, Alex Winter said it was kind of like Beach Blanket Bingo meets Evil Dead. It took him 2 years to finish the script, and no studios wanted it. So they did a bunch of rewrites, and it turned into a dark comedy, not featuring that band Butthole Surfers anymore. Alex and Stern pitched the idea to 20th Century Fox Joe Roth. He was the head of the studio at that time, and he loved the idea. Joe Roth loved the idea so much he gave Alex Winter and Tom $12 million to direct the movie, even though neither one of them had real experience directing a big movie before. Now, Joe Roth only had one condition, that the film had to be rewritten and toned down to fit a PG-13 rating. Therefore, most of the profanity was written out of the final draft to fit the MPAA standards. Within a month of being picked up, the film began production. 20th Century Fox had such high expectations for the film. They released a number of products based on it, including a line of action figures, a novelization, and most notably a comic book released by Hamilton Comics. However, since the comic was drawn before most of the cast was complete, none of the characters look anything like their real life counterpart. Okay, now this is where shit hits the fan. And probably why you've never heard of this film is because during filming, Joe Roth was fired of the head of the studio and replaced by Peter Cherning. So Peter watches a rough cut of this film and he hates it. He hates the fact that they spent $12 million on it and he tries to cut the budget as much as possible, pretty much forcing a lot of the soundtrack to be cut from the film, including a demo song by Iggy Pop, and the special effects was greatly cut down or eliminated altogether to try to help the budget. But the final laugh was on Peter, because at the end of the day, the budget was $13 million. Fox president Peter also wanted a new name, so they changed the name from Hideous Mutant Freaks to just Freaked. Alex Winter and Tom Stern did not like the new name change. Now things get a tad worse. After several poor test screenings, Fox chose to pull the film from national release and cut the advertising budget, leaving no money for commercials or newspaper ads. Freaks had its official premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 11, 1993. Despite positive critical response, the film opened October 3rd, 1993 in the United States to only two screens, only two movie theaters. Do you believe that? Making a mere $6,900 in the first week, it quickly dropped out of theaters, making less than $30,000, becoming a failure at the box office. Well, when you abandon your movie like that, yeah, that's probably what happened. I don't even know why you bothered to put it in theaters. But pretty much this movie was a bomb. That's maybe why you never heard of it. Probably seen it on TV, maybe. I don't know. But this is my review. I also have Redneck Gamer. I'm going to change it up here a little bit. I'm going to get him to do the first review, and I'm going to be second. I think I might try that for a bit. So, Redneck, take it away, buddy.
Howdy, folks. Redneck Gamer here. So let's talk a little bit about the movie Freaked. Firstly, I want to say that I really like this film. I mean, really like it. To me, it's a damn good movie. But in saying that, I have to mention that this film is only for those with an acquired taste. And what I mean by that is that Freaked's humor is not entirely for everyone. Now, don't worry, this film's humor isn't something from the likes of Friedberg and Seltzer, or Adam Sandler, but it is different humor. The comedy in this film is surrealistic, it's absurdist, and it's campy. In other words, Freaked is a lot like a trauma movie, only it wasn't made by them. So, since the humor is the way it is, I can only suggest it to people who like that brand of ridiculous humor. I guess the reason behind my admiration for this film is because when I was a little kid, and even now, I used to watch cartoons like Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, and Rocko's Modern Life. And the comedy that was in those cartoons is quite similar to what's in Freaked. Hell, John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy, praised this movie. He even stated it, quote, the funniest movie in years. Now, to me, that's an accomplishment because, in my humblest opinion, John Kay is legendary when it comes to both animation and humor. But it all goes back to acquired tastes. I know some people who won't watch shows like Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead because they regard the comedy as stupid. And to those of you out there who aren't into strange and over-the-top humor, you're probably not gonna like this film. But in those who do like that brand of comedy, I say watch it. To me, it's a work of art. Before I give this movie its early grade, I want to talk about one interesting fact. The guy who wrote and directed Freak, Alex Winter, went on to make the live-action Ben 10 movies. When I found that out, it just floored me. I'll be honest, I never caught too much of those live-action Ben 10 films. But from what I got, I can tell y'all this. Those films are very, very kid-friendly. That's not the thing that surprises me. Ben 10, after all, is a pretty kid-friendly show. What surprises me is that Freaked is not what I'd call a movie for kids. To have Alex Winter make something like Ben 10 is like having Mel Brooks make a live-action version of Regular Show. Actually, I bet he could pull that off. I mean, I get it, Alex Winter doesn't have the same stats as Mel Brooks, but if he had wanted to, he could have gone on to make even more movies. Freaked today enjoys quite a dedicated cult following, and you know what? It's deserving of that. So I'm gonna give Freaked an I for in between. I can totally suggest it to folks that like absurd and off-the-wall humor, but to those who don't like that kind of stuff, you may just want to give it a miss.
Thank you so much, Redneck Gamer. I'm always appreciative you being on my channel, and thank you for the review. Also, please check out Redneck's channel. It's awesome. He does reviews like me, but more detailed reviews. His link is in the description and in the comments. Thank you so much, Redneck. Well, it's my turn now. This film is a little weird. I remember watching it as a kid and thinking, what the hell is this? And I didn't see it after that for like another 10 years. And then when I found it again, I was thinking, oh man, I have a secret gem here that very few people know about. Because this movie is a good movie. Let's start with the story. Alex Winter plays like a douchey movie star that sells out. He goes to a carnival or to like a freak show and he gets kidnapped and changed into a monster. That's basically the plot. There are only 3 locations in the entire film. There is everything except Shoes, main headquarters. There's the talk show with Brooke Shields. And then the last location is Freakland, which is run by Randy Quaid. He's basically like a crazy Colonel Sanders, you know, the KFC guy. But the funny thing is, Randy Quaid now is a crazy fucking guy, so this is probably how he is in real life. Now, only having 3 locations honestly makes me a little bit happy because more money can go to the budget of the film so it can look cooler. Also, it's a really good way to introduce all the freaks in the film and let each one of them have their own moment on screen, which is funny and amusing. Now, I have my personal favorites when it comes to the freaks in this film, and I would have to say my 2 favorite would have to be the Jamaican Eyeballs and Dog Boy. And the reason I say Dog Boy because he's a cool character and is played by Keanu Reeves. And if you don't believe me, check this out.
I am Ortiz, the dog boy, leader of the freaks. First, I have a question for you, dog.
Now, Keanu Reeves' character isn't in the movie a whole lot, but his character is more memorable than the others. And when it comes to the remaining freaks in the film, like Mr. T, the bearded woman, the worm guy, the fucking dude with the big nose, the cow guy, sock man, weirdo lady with the glasses, hell, even that troll looking little kid I liked. But the one character who I didn't like in the film was Ricky Coogan's fucking little best friend asshole dude. I hate that asshole. I'm pretty sure he was in Step by Step or some shit. He's a crappy actor. The reason he's such a crappy actor in this movie is because he doesn't have any makeup or special effects on him. He's just himself. And he's been fused or melted to this woman who's like a feminist. So basically, he's like talking throughout the whole movie, and his jokes are fucking lame. Alright, I don't want to make this video too long, so basically the special effects are decent to good. The soundtrack is forgettable. I don't really remember any of the songs. The acting is all good except for that one dork. For such a weird, unique comedy like this, I can see why it was hard to find an audience. And Redneck Gamer is right. This is an acquired taste. But I would be surprised if you can watch this film and not laugh, or at least giggle throughout the whole thing. So, I'm going to rate this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's not the best. It's actually looked kind of cheaply filmed. But I think this is a good movie. I think Alex Winter kind of got burnt. I think he deserved more credit than he got. But he still got to make a very funny movie that I hope a lot more people see. I wouldn't be surprised if you look on YouTube and you can find a copy to watch. Just put in Freaked. I'd like to thank Redneck Gamer for jumping on my channel and being around, and thank you very much, buddy. Please check out his channel. It's great. I'm doing a review on his channel right now for Super Mario 2, so that's going to be awesome. And sorry for the lack of content in the week or so. I had a really good video I was making, and I kind of lost it. I had this interview with a local band in Edmonton, and it kind of got pushed up to a bigger interview with Starkill, and I did an awesome job, but all the footage was corrupted and lost. So that like basically was like a week of work destroyed. But I'm determined to push forward and try to make the best content as possible. I'd like to thank everybody who watches, subscribes, thumbs up, comments. Have yourself a wonderful day, and thank you for being, around.